Please join me in welcoming Dylan Raymond.
All right, good evening. I guess I don't have a mic. I like to kind of move around a little bit. But how's everybody doing this evening? Good. All right, we need to get this out up front. I see somebody Googling 670-1, AR670-1, see if I'm in the proper uniform. No, but this really is about you. It's about you, and hopefully that I can be able to provide some information, inspire you to be able to transition. So the theme for tonight is transition, because I sat in that seat where you sat, whether it's going from civilian to military, whether it's going from military to civilian, student to employment, single to parents, whatever that case may be, you have the tools, the tips, you have the strategies to be able to make that transition. So I want to be able to inspire you. So one of the things that he said about the 4 girls, so get that out up front. I have no decision-making power at the house. I do have a male dog, Shih Tzu. So we got a little testosterone in the house. But I sign here, Dad, sign, okay, yes, good. But yeah, so tonight it's all about you. And I want to be able to inspire you because I know, like I said, how do I go from the military to civilian to military? And you've already proven it, especially those that have already completed basic training. You just think back at the time before you actually went into the military. You was a civilian, didn't know what you was expecting to do going into basic training. However, you was able to accomplish those things, those tasks, those challenges that was put on you during basic training that help you to be able to succeed, to progress, to get promoted, and to have a successful, honorable career. And for those that are transitioning, leaving civilian, commissioning, and going into the service, I salute you. I say you have an opportunity before you to make a difference. Look at the work that you've done to get you to where you're at right now. So it's a couple things that I want to tell you today. 3 tips. It's always 3, typically. But I'm going to use acronyms. I like acronyms because guess what? We speak acronyms, don't we? Oh, I'm surprised we didn't get a whore. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to utilize the words PCS, because PCS is what? Permanent change of station, right? So you're going to be moving from where you're at now, graduating and moving on to civilian, or you're going to be going into the military. So a couple things I want to impart on you as you prepare for that journey. A couple things I want to leave with you as well. And I'm talking veteran to veteran, so let's have this conversation, is 2 things. Number 1, you're a veteran, you serve, honorable. But when you go out to the civilian sector, remember those things that you acquired, the successes that you overcame, overcame with the challenges that you faced. Not that I'm a veteran, because a lot of times if you come to a civilian and say, hey, I'm a combat veteran, okay, what does that mean? How do you solve my problem? So the things you want to think about, the things that you have learned to solve problems, because you are a complex problem solver. Remember that. Also, remember that yes, you're going to be receiving that degree here shortly. It's not going to be anybody at the supply room handing out jobs. So just again, start with P. You got to put the work in. Put the work in. You've already proven that you put the work in, whether it's part-time, half-time, full-time. You put the work in to put you in the seat that you're in today. So what does put the work in? You may have to do some things that you're not comfortable with doing. But I always say be willing to do the things today that other people won't do so you can have the things tomorrow that others won't have. So plan. Ask yourself, what am I doing today that's going to affect my tomorrow. Plant seeds today. So put the work in. So I'll tell you a story. A couple of weeks ago, well, actually in January, it was a young lady that reached out to me on LinkedIn. And she reached out, invited me to connect. And as a recruiter, there's a ton of people that's always reaching out to try to connect. But I'm going to help you as best as possible. So she reached out. She was a service member. And what I normally do, I like to coach, mentor, and guide, just like in the military. So I gave her a couple of tasks, do this, do this, do this, and then get back to me. But the thing that she didn't realize is when she invited me to connect with her, immediately following the connection, she came in and she started asking, give me this, can you help me out with that? So it's about building relationships. So you want to build relationships as it pertains to developing leads, developing relationships that's going to help you in your employment. So nevertheless, a few months went by, and it was about 3 weeks ago, somebody tagged me with this young lady because she posted something on LinkedIn that she said it really is getting desperate at this particular time. It's been 2 years since I've been unemployed. So at that time, I said, well, let me reach out to her. I said, hey, is it possible that we can set up a telephone conversation? So we set up a telephone conversation. She said, I know you're busy. I said, yeah, but my goal is to at least get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. So we had a conversation. We kind of worked through some things. I said, well, she said, I've been applying for 2 years and I haven't not receiving any jobs. So I don't like to just jump in there and say, well, what are you doing? You're doing this. So I said, all right, so how do you connect with people? So she told me, I sent an invite, and the first thing she's doing is asking for something. So you want to be a go-giver, not always looking to go get or receive something. Find out opportunities that's mutual so that you can exchange. What can I offer the person that I'm referring to or I'm communicating with? So nevertheless, I gave her a few tasks. She had maybe about 80, 100 connections. So I said, hey, for a recruiter to take you serious, you want to have at least 500 or more. And so she began to work on that. So I tell you my story. I had 132 connections. I told a friend of mine, hey, I got 132. He laughed at me. He said, give me a call back when you get 500, because that's where recruiters take you serious. So nevertheless, I actually I said, take that post off of LinkedIn, and my suggestion is try this, try this, try this, and I'm going to check in on you. So she put the work in, because she began to say, hey, I'm adding some additional connections. So she began to feel good about herself. So that's putting the work in. Studying, staying up late at night, applying for new roles that you're looking to transition into. So continue to focus on putting the work in. And C, you want to continuously improve. Always get better than you are today. And that's my challenge. What can I do different today? What can I learn different today? How can I improve today? Whether it's a class, a certification, volunteer work, do some things that you can apply your leadership and get some feedback. Get some mentors, get some individuals that's going to give you some good, solid feedback. Not what you want to hear, but some good, solid NCO feedback, where they're giving you some good feedback. So find opportunities to continuously improve. One of the things this past couple of days, I had 2 people. If you're looking for work, be prepared to accept calls. I had a young lady, somebody referred this young lady to me. I called her, phone went to voicemail. So I left a message. She called me back over 24 hours later. Oh yeah, you called me yesterday. Even if it's the bill collector, answer the phone if you're looking for work. Because you can always ask that bill collector, hey, are you guys hiring? That's an opportunity for you as well. And the other thing that I'm noticing, I love the veteran service organizations, but I think what service members like is to be challenged, give them a task, point them in the right direction, and have them go and do that particular task, versus holding them by the hand. And I guess that's the drill sergeant in me. I'm always pushing that service member to go, because I remember teaching soldiers how to basic rifle marksmanship, how to fire a weapon. You got to remember, you have the best sight picture. I'm only standing on the side or over you. That's the drill sergeant. But you have the sights. You're looking through the sights. You're lining up the front sight post. You're deciding, put all those fundamentals in place so you can line the rounds up so we can get that weapon zero. Does that make sense? And how do I know if it's zero? Or are you applying the fundamentals? Because I walk down range and I look at where the rounds land. We triangulate, and then we begin to make adjustments from there. And then for the last piece, I would say with the S, show up. Show up in everything that you do. I can remember when I came on back to duty, going to different job interviews. I had like a 3-page resume. And when I became a recruiter and got good at it, I understood that the recruiters they was actually interviewing my resume versus giving me an opportunity to get in the door. So show up, whether it's a company you may not want to work for, be excited. Use it as an opportunity to practice. Practice, practice, practice. Continue to practice, because your private practice will determine your public performance. I say again over, your private practice will determine your public performance. So in closing, I want to tell you a quick story about a gentleman that I've known for quite a while. In fact, I've known him my entire life. This guy had every opportunity. He was set up for every opportunity to complain, to worry about things failing, making excuses. He was born in New York City. He had 5 daughters. They lived in a 2-bedroom apartment in Bedford-Stuyvesant. He lost his father. The guy was on his job. He lost his father at the age of 12 years old, which left his mother to raise 6 boys on her own. Public assistance. However, this guy was pretty smart. Got out of high school at the age of 16, went to college. He was on track to get that PhD before 25 years old. However, he was distracted, ended up going to several colleges in New York City, obtained several credits, probably enough to get 2 associate's degrees. Then he decided to join the military. He got married. Unfortunately, went through a divorce, financial ruin, and he pretty successful, from what I know, in the military. The thing that I liked most about him is that he continued to push. He continued to put the work in. He continues to improve, and he showed up. He finally went back to school and received his associate's degree. That was after 23 years. He received his associate's degree. Then he went a little bit more, 25 years, he obtained his bachelor's degree. Why? Donald, why do you tell me about that? Again, he was very successful. He put the work in, he continues to improve, and he showed up. I tell you that because that gentleman that I talked to you, and I'm talking to you about now, is me. I say that to not impress you, but to impress upon you that you have what it takes within you. Do not rob this world, your family, corporations of your talent, your skills, and abilities. Thank you very much for your time. God bless you, and thank you for having me.